Good morning, everybody. So yes, welcome to my painting stream. So, the tile Riptide is kind of at a point where I have to figure out what I want to do with the terrain that surrounds it. So I will be taking pictures of it when it's done. I'm posting those on my Instagram. Please feel free to check that out. There's not much up there now, but you know, I'm working on it slowly but surely. Everything with time. So yes, I've kind of upgraded my camera. I got a better camera that can lock focus and all that fun stuff. So I could free up my cell phone. I think I might get another one just so that I can do like a little bit, maybe more of a close-up thing, because this camera does have the ability to zoom. So yes, what we're going to do here today is we're going to finish off these Necron Warriors from the Indominus box set with Gauss Reapers. This guy looks a little bit rough because, well, my cat decided that he looked like a good chew toy. So I got 20 here. I have two 10-man blobs with Gauss Reapers. I have a ton of Necron Warriors, so I haven't really finished these guys. These guys are actually from the Indominus box set from a couple of years back. I actually got two Necron halves. Yeah, so I had a bunch of guys. The plan is to basically just paint and talk. So hopefully, if that's something you guys enjoy, by all means, don't hesitate to visit my YouTube channel, subscribe, and all that fun jazz. Right now, all I'm doing is just reposting this to Facebook because, you know, I'm old. I'm sure if I watch the analytics of my channel, I'll see an older audience anyways, so anyways, yeah, just reposted that to Facebook, and we're good to go. So yeah, like I was saying, the plan is to just work on some things. I really like painting. This gives me a great excuse to stream because why not? You know, I used to be heavily into video production, and I don't really do that anymore. I am working on some multi-camera stuff, and I'd like to get more into streaming, like a live events and stuff like that. So this is actually kind of a nice, really good test of my rig. There will be mics coming in. I do plan on upgrading those. So if you think I sound bad now, you're probably going to think I sound even worse with a good microphone. But at least I'll have the ability to control the EQ and stuff like that, so I can sound a little bit less, how you say, crappy. So, yeah, pardon my cheesy joke. So, right now, all I'm going to do is I got 20 warriors here. They're all kind of at the same spot. They have their bodies done. I've highlighted very lightly. I want to keep them nice and dark. They will get purple tops on their heads like the rest of my Necrons. By the way, this is my own personal dynasty. You don't see much of the colors here, but I kind of went for a royal color. The idea was these guys are loyal to the Silent King, even though I don't even have the Silent King as a model right now. I only have Imhotep, the Stormlord. Pardon me if I pronounce that wrong. So yeah, these guys are very nice, well, dark purple. So I start off with a very, very dark purple. And then I mid-tone with, what is it, Nagroth Knight? Xerxes purple. So yeah, it's Nagroth Knight, and then it's Xerxes purple, and then Gene Stealer purple, just for the edge highlights and stuff like that. So I've kind of perfected this painting scheme over time. Yeah, and Necrons are my first love. They are so my first love. When I walked into the Games Workshop when I was younger, these guys were the ones that caught my eye. These guys and Tau. But I loved the look of the Monolith. I loved the look of the Ghost Ark. I loved the look of the Warriors and the Scarabs, and then the older sculpts for the Warlords and stuff like that. Sorry, Overlords. So yeah, that's pretty much, but I never bought into it, right? I didn't get into 40K until 2016, 2017. I want to say 2017. I bought the Dark Imperium box set, which was a really good box set. And then I painted those guys up as Smurfs, and yep, and then I since sold them because, you know, I'm dumb and don't ever sell your first army. And then these guys are my second army, and I refuse to sell them. I always come back to 40K. I always enjoy the game, even when it's a really crappy edition, because, you know, Games Workshop being Games Workshop. On that note, on a side note, on the main note of this video, we're going to start painting. So I'm going to start off just refreshing with Caliban Green, and yeah, I know I had these guys I was using an airbrush without a booth for a while there, so I've got some airbrush paint on a lot of my older paints. So it's Caliban Green, so you start off these guys with Caliban Green, then you move up to the next green up, I can't remember what it's called, and then a moot green, and then a very nice highlighted yellow. This effect here was done with the technical Tesseract glow, which is nice because I like to take all these little crevices here, right? And then I have a Night Scythe and a Doom Scythe that I've used a very similar effect with the moot green to go through and do all the little lines and stuff like that to kind of as if they're glowing. So let's get started. These guys are in a good spot. I just have to do some touch-ups here. I'm going to do some touch-ups with the black, and then maybe dry brush a little bit of Leadbelcher and stuff on there, and then do some red and oranges for the cables hanging down, just because, why not? Right? A little bit of color variety. So sorry if everything's out of focus here. I am zoomed in a little bit. This camera is very new to me, so I have found a focal point for it. I found a great focal point for it, but it is very limited because I am zoomed in a little bit. Oof. I think yeah, my Caliban Green needs to be updated. It's also been a while since I've used that color. The only thing I don't like about the GW pots is everything dries out on you. Can't leave them for a long time, right? It would be really, really nice if you could still go through periods of time where I want to paint a lot. You know what, I got 20 of these guys to do, so I'm not even going to bother using this handle. I have a setup with like 8 handles on it over there. Yeah, it appears I went through and I did the Caliban Green on all these guys. And then I still have another 10 warriors to paint, which is nuts, because let's just say the undying horde will rise again. And I have to upgrade my carrying case for my miniatures. I love saying it that way. No, my D&D minis. Oh man, not my D&D, my BattleTech minis. No. Gotta have a little fun in life, right? When you can't make fun of yourself, who can you make fun of? So, happy little Necron warriors. And eventually I'm going to get a clean mat This one's kind of dirty. This one's a few years old. It's had some spills and stuff on it. I tend to not really care too much about stuff like that. As some people do. They don't like to look at a messy desk. But a messy desk just means you're actually doing something with it, right? No, he has died. I might add some medium to this. Maybe I'll just try adding some water. It's like there is moisture in there. It's just an old bottle of Caliban green. It's always good every once in a while to go through and double check your pots of paint, because you never know. And then you can sit down and want to do a paint session like this and you're like, oh no, it's dry. You can't do that. I've had that happen. Especially with like Glenn Belcher. A lot of the GW stuff tends to dry out because of the way the pot's designed. I mean, they don't care because that just means you have to go out and buy more paint. But there are better designs out there. Am I not right, people? Am I not right? Happy little Necron, Goth Reapers. These guys are fun in 9th edition. I haven't played with the Goth. I did have a game yesterday. I did post some pictures of it. It's not really a Battleport style set of pictures. So I'm going to work on that. I actually want to start shooting battle reports. Again, I used to do it a lot with Animal War. There I go, getting paint in the furl. Isn't that nice? Yeah. Yeah, that's there's lots of things I want to do with the string. Eventually what I'd like to do is have stuff, come in. So, like, be able to do, like, say, I'm just pulling it up here, I'm sorry. There we go. I should have had this set up before. I was pretty sure I had it set up before. Maybe I didn't save the profile before I exited OBS or something. But, yeah, so what I'd like to eventually be able to do is, if you see the lower third there, which is actually the technical name for it. So I'd like to be able to bring up like whatever paint I'm using or something like that. Because people have asked me that, and I it's not something I ever thought of before, but like somebody was asking me the other day what colors I use in the towel. I never even thought about doing that. I mean, silly because I'm recording myself painting things, and maybe somebody sees something cool that they want to replicate. Which was the case here. They just wanted to replicate the look that I was creating for my Tau Riptide, and they just wanted to know what colors I used for base coats and stuff like that. So I literally told them everything that I did with it. But I'd like to be able to use this lower third here to, call up paints and stuff like that. So, working on things slowly but surely. Things get better over time. I learned that lesson with Amber War. We created pretty cheesy older content. And I mean, bear in mind, I let a lot of things slide because I was really one of the only people doing all the technical work. Okay, I wasn't doing a lot of the technical work. Like, setting up all the equipment and stuff like that. Mainly because I'm a little bit overprotective of my stuff, but it is what it is. Hindsight is always 20/20. So now with my home setup, I don't have to worry about that. I can just get everything set in that. So I'm trying to set myself up. Like, even if I just had like a secondary camera here, then I could just, like, you know, say, take this paint bottle and then just put the paint bottle there, right? And just be like, okay, this is what I'm using. That's a convenient idea. And then just have it as a picture-in-picture on the lower third, right? There's all kinds of ideas I have. I will be trying. This is a fun little experiment for me. The more I do, the better I get at it. So there we go. You just, you know, take a section of my mat, mark it off with tape, and be like, alright, cool, this is the color I'm using. Because I have a little area right up here. You can see the mess of paints here, but I have them all set out because I know what I'm going to use. What the heck is wrong with me today? I cannot freaking keep that stuff off my hands. I mean, it's Thanksgiving Monday. It's been a busy weekend. Yesterday was pretty busy. I got my butt whooped by Death Guard. The kiddo just turned 19. She's an adult now. The other kiddo's wife just turned I don't know how old she is. It's like 22, 23. I think she's a little younger or older than Chris. Can't remember. You know, because I'm a dad and I pay attention to these things. You never ask a woman how old she is, right? It's one lesson I learned in life. So, it's happy birthday, and then I don't have a clue how old she is. These guys are going to turn out nice. The beautiful note is if you do end up having my, the link to my Instagram is on my YouTube channel, but if you do have my Instagram, feel free to check it out. It's by the Dice Games. On Instagram, there are some pictures of yesterday's game. The mat that I'm using is an FLG mat you cannot even get anymore, and the terrain that I'm using in the pictures, which is all the Necron terrain that I own, is actually built by a professional modeler. I did his website a while back, and basically just, you know, basic gallery, and the agreement was that he built me this terrain. So I have all this nice terrain that's built out of really strong acrylic, and then I have another friend of mine who's going to help me light it in exchange for my video production knowledge. So, you know, quid pro quo. So I mean, I could take something like this and just plunk it down in front of a camera and be like, this is the paint I'm using. But then I'd have to light it, right? It'd have to be in a well-lit area, something, you know? Stuff like that. I could even just use my cell phone for it, because, you know, I do have Droid Cam, that's how I was doing this in the first place, so. Alright, so the first layer of Caliban Green is done! So now we're going to start off with whatever the crap this green is called. I'd have to scratch the paint off. I have had this paint for so long. I have a lot of Necrons. So this paint scheme I have down pat. It actually took me a lot to go out and buy this stuff. I have 2 bottles of it. I have never really used a lot of it. And I just decided to use it on the gun glow, because it does a really good effect. This one's a little less worse. Where the medium is starting to separate, but so we're just gonna get into that practice of putting the paint up there. I could just 3D. You know what I should do? I should 3D print a pedestal. That's a really good idea. Like a little studio area to just display whatever paint I'm calling. If you can see that, sometimes I have to remember to paint the camera. It's just giving it a nice little catch of that green, and then we're going to go doing the moon green. Right, really nice Necron glow. The funny thing is it's the same color scheme. The beautiful thing about Necrons is if you want a really easy army to paint, you can... Necrons are very forgiving. You're not painting a ton of large armor pieces. You're painting a lot of metallics, right? Because they're cyborgs. And so you can quite literally do this entire model, prime it black, and then just paint the entire thing silver. You don't even have to go through and pick out the armor points. I just wanted something a little bit more interesting. And trust me, when you see my army on the table, it's good. It's real good. Like it looks nice. And I'm very proud of that. And I should be, right? Just like everybody that paints their miniatures to the best of their ability should be very proud of that. Not that there's anything wrong with not painting your miniatures. I just, we all have different painting standards, and we're all in the hobby for completely different things, right? I just so happen to like painting way more than I like playing. That being said, I'm enjoying 10th edition so far. Should be good. 10th edition should be good. Should be very good. 10th edition should be good. It flows nice and stuff like that. Seems to. It'll be nice. It's like okay, when I first started playing Warhammer, it's like where 8th edition was. There weren't a whole lot of codices out. Everything is pretty much in the index, and then, it came out with all the codices and stuff like that, and it was like, wham, bam, thank you, man. Rule bloats. So by the end of 8th edition, it was pretty freaking bloated. Then in 9th edition, they just repeated it. It came out pretty bloated. Now, I'm not going to lie, I really like that they did with Necrons in 9th edition. Had 9th edition not happened, Necrons would be... My Necron army would have been done, for sure. For now, right now, it's not done. There's, a few models that I don't have copies of, but I would really like copies of. The only problem is, painting an army over time, it's really, really, I don't know, part of the reason why I like to paint variety is, I don't want to sit here and paint purple and silver all the time, and I will stop painting if that's all I'm painting, because it's boring, right? These guys I'm painting for a purpose. I'm not painting them to play with. Whereas, my Tau, I don't really care to play with Tau. I have the codices, I have several Tau codex. From what I gather, they're pretty fun. I've never played them, so I'm not up to date on their stuff. Of course, because we're at the beginning of a new edition, everything's kind of equal right now. But one codex or one rule change, and that could easily be completely different. And I have a feeling they're going to do that in 10th, but they haven't yet, so yay me. And I mean, you don't necessarily have to keep up on that, And then you also have other game rule sets, one game rule set that I'd really like to try is one-page rules. Because they have an army that's directly correlated towards Necron players, as they do with all 40k players. Right? Plus they have the ability to make your own custom armies. That's the coolest thing. Now, how cool would it be to, for example, you know what I'd really like to do? Oh, sorry, I'm on a rant. Is create, like, they got so many cool factions already, but then you can create your own, right? There's a lot of different manufacturers of STLs out there. Sorry, modelers, manufacturers. Silly me. Oof, way too much paint on my brush. There's a lot of different modelers out there that are really talented and stuff like that, that you could go to a site like Proxy Wars or whatever and then just create an army based on some of the STL files you have and have purchased, you know, or use your existing 40k army, stuff like that. Ooh, I thin that out way too much. It's more like a glaze now. Glazing. Well, that hurts more than one meeting. Wow, that was horrible. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. No, it's way too close to his body. So yeah, I might just end up doing this little glowy effect today. Because it's Thanksgiving Monday, and I got a head out of town. But I want to finish these guys. Because I like the whole concept of what you see is what you get, so I tend not to use the Gauss Reapers. Because I don't have any Necron Warriors right now with Gauss Reapers. So the next unit that I want to paint is flayed ones. I have a box of flayed ones that is completely unassembled. In fact, the plastic is still... Nope, the plastic is not still on it. So I have it locked away in a box. Yeah, so that lower third is going to be eventually for, like, you know, maybe if I switch units that I'm painting, right, I could do that. So instead of having to, like, go to a new title screen and start a new stream, I could be like, oh, I'm painting this, and then I could just, you know, switch the name key. So it'd still be like, for example, Ken painting Necron Warriors, and then I switch to a destroyer or a flayed one or whatever, and then, you know, not having to restart my stream. You hear the dinging in the background. That is my cat playing with a cat toy. I have to go through all of my Necron characters and find out which ones I don't have. I do know I do not have the Silent King, and I want to get him. Even if I never use him. It's one hell of a model. I have to go through and make sure I have all of them. I definitely need to get more Lynch Guard. Okay, so I'm gonna moot green it up. I'm actually going to switch brushes for this because this moot green is going to be more of a dry brush. This isn't the air moot green. It is the air moot green. Darn it! Okay, well, I can use this. I just have to... how much that bumps that up. I'm just going to hit it from the back a little bit. Look at that. You can even make it even brighter. Look, green is very forgiving sometimes. There we go. Leave that there. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Brightens it right up. So you just have to do this for all of the green colors. So like doing these the same way. So that Tesseract glow makes life a lot easier, right? Because I'm putting on 3, maybe 4 colors if I want to get that little, that really good effect. Right. Oh no. Nothing spectacular happening. My phone is at 90% though. Necron warriors with ghost sweepers. I mean, I really don't need to touch the back of the Necron warrior like that, but at the same time, you know, I'm like that. I really like the new scopes in the Necron warriors. Like, the new sculpts they came up with in the Indomitus box set, super good. These guys have been around for a long time. They're imperfect. Like, I have all the older models, and those guys seem to come out of the ground perfectly fine, even though, you know, sixty million, 60 millennia or whatever. They were around for a long time before mankind. Right, so their stuff's pretty old, even though it's way more advanced. Like, look at... Here, you know what? Look at that sculpt. Right? He is nice. Not the paint job, but like the sculpt. So he's like, got the inset eye, right? With no lens on it. All kinds of coolness there. Like I said, I love the new sculpts. for Necron Warriors. A little bit more spindly, right? I could do without all the spindliness of them, but at the same point in time, right? You gotta admire it. I really need to get, especially if I'm going to be using 20-man blobs of these, I'm going to have to 3D print some regiment bases, something like that. You know what I mean? So I can like just carry them in a blob. Because that's 20 Necron warriors right there. That's a lot. That's a lot of warriors, right? So this is the old way to do the glow. Most people would change and use like the tester. Oh no, I touched the gold. No. That's okay, I can fix that. See, look at this guy. Look at the chunk missing out of his head. Is that not so cool? I love that. You know, and then I painted it silver underneath, right? Like a lead belcher color. Because, you know, it's the undercarriage of his thing, right? Like, the old Necrons had never had so much character. They were just mindless android robots. Like, this guy has seen battle, right? He is, Mr. Like, he is damaged. The beautiful thing about Necrons is you don't necessarily have to use their decals either, because all their decals are just the Necron words. I haven't used any decals on my Necrons at all. Not for any unit. It could, right, because you could put them right there, but they're nameless robots. There's a few units left that I need to get, though. I do like the top-down camera, because even if I'm not paying attention to where I have my guy, it's still more natural for me to paint, right? And then you watch from top down. And I don't have to worry so much as to whether or not I'm casting a shadow over top of what I'm painting or whatever. It's just easy. I have to go stock up on some paints. Darn. Some good Necron wires. Now, what is this? Yellow, Uriel yellow. Some of these paints are really old. I don't even know if they still exist anymore. I want to get one of those little nubby things. I could probably try and 3D print one. I just have to get the circumference of my cup, like print a little nubby thing. So, you know what, while we're having fun with this, I'm going to, quite literally, have a little bit of fun. I hope that's okay, everybody. This is my stream, and you are my witnesses. But I need to make sure that it flows naturally, right? So I only have a certain amount of room on said table to do so. Right. So it's just an experiment. You know what, this whole thing is an experiment. Life is about experimenting. Is it not? Aha, look at this. I'm gonna have alright, just doing one more thing. So, going to have OBS running. I know I'm streaming while I'm doing this. Wi-Fi empty. Well, I don't know if it's gonna work. Ten dot zero dot zero. Dot 50. You gonna pick it up? Just bear with me here. See if it'll catch it. Can it catch it? There we go. That's what I wanted. All right. Awesome. So we can set up. This is my idea. Right. I realize that rid of the droid cam, plus the droid cam. Droid cam OBS. 20 to 20. 10.0.0.50. Enter. Yeah. No, I don't want to remove it. I want to change it. So activate it, and then OK, and then we're going to do ha ha ha. Got it. Sorry about this. Just wanted to be able to pull this up for viewers at home. Eventually, this is going to be like a thing. You know, it's not perfect. Yeah. Learning. This is kind of like my playground. There we go. So this is my idea. So I could be like, so I'm gonna take my lower third, as you can see. All right, cool. So we're finished with the, you know, for example, so we're finished with the moot green. So I'm gonna take the moot green off, and then I'm gonna put the Uriel yellow on, and that's what I'm gonna use. And then, you know, something like that. And then I can take it off, right? Camera's still streaming. I know you can see the camera on the side, I don't really care. Limited for space. Just kind of have a little bit of fun with this, right? Just like this, about having fun. So we're just doing, you know what, that's freaking perfect. I like that. I mean, I need to bring down exposure value. I'm going to test it at that. And I'm just going to hit that with a little bit of yellow, right, to bring that out. Really makes it pop. Like, look at that effect. That's pretty good. Just gonna bring up my exposure a bit. Yeah. See, that's good. I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. I might put a border around. So we'll put a shape. Not showing, yada yada yada. So I want to put a shape in. Dry cam display capture color source. So we're going to create like that. Yeah, do like a white box. And then we're going to do that. And then we're going to bring that down to the dry cam source. And I'm just going to create a little box. I love OBS. I really do. Super nice. I know I shouldn't be doing this live, but you know what? Tis a playground. Okay, so So we're going to trick select a more black border. Okay. Hey. And then, you know, we got that going on. Right? All kinds of cool stuff going on here. Yeah, I like that. So, you know what? I think that's the way to go. Sorry, I'm getting a little distracted here. I mean, I should have done that before, but I've been thinking about doing some stuff, so, you know. So I'm going to create a little shadow box or something like that in the cardstock so that I can do exactly what I just did with the Uriel yellow. The question is you know what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to 3D print like a funky little pedestal. Something interesting to hold up that paint. You know, maybe to give it a little bit more of an interesting look. I mean, all I'm doing is showing the paint, but we're playing around here, right? Happy little accidents. Life is good, man. Besides, I can use this technique for other things too, right? It's not just that. Eventually I'll get the graphics looking better, but it's just a matter of playing around right now, right? You never know if you don't play around. Wow, I just did a glaze effect on that and it turned out super good. Alright, so I'm super starving, so I'm going to end off there. Here you got Necron Words, and you got Uriel. You get the idea. Essentially, it's Caliban green with the next green up. I'm sorry, I wish I had the actual the color, but I don't. So you got Caliban green, the next color up, Moot green, and then Uriel yellow just as a highlight, right? And you'll get that similar effect of Tesseract Vault. Tesseract Vault is a lot brighter, but it's also a lot greener. Now you can go through and you can hit the Tesseract Vault with a bit of the Uriel yellow or whatever yellow you have. It doesn't necessarily have to be a GW product, you know. It could be whatever yellow you have, you know, and then just layer it up and highlight it. So yeah. Listen guys, thank you so much for watching. That'll be it for today's stream. I know it's a short stream, and I did a lot of playing around, but you know, like I said, this is my playground and I'm just kind of learning OBS as we go. It's definitely a new and very powerful toy, and I'm really thoroughly enjoying myself. So I don't know, if you like what you see, just subscribe and, you know, bear with me, I guess, while I develop this thing into what it's going to be. So I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving if you celebrate Thanksgiving here in Canada. And if not, I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Thank you. Bye.